I am praying the Supreme Court takes this lawsuit by Texas. I covered it a little bit yesterday. I just want to go over it again because it's critical. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of our last really good hopes here, that we can somehow get a free and fair election and get some actual justice here. Texas filed a lawsuit I covered yesterday. I'm going to show you a screenshot in a second from it because it's genius. And remember the two things, how they kept this on the DL, on the down low ski, Attorney General Paxton in Texas. I don't know. I hadn't heard anything about this, and neither did anyone else until yesterday. But the lawsuit is genius. Remember the two tenets of a lawsuit we need to get this to the Supreme Court. We need speed, so it's got to go to the Supreme Court quickly. Why? Because there is a constitutional deadline, which is January. Donald Trump's presidency ends on January 20th, no matter what happens. Okay, no matter what happens, I mean with these lawsuits, his presidency ends. Now he could be sworn in again as president. You get it? But his presidency is over as per the Constitution on January 20th. So speed is of the essence. Everybody tracking? We can't have a case heard by the Supreme Court in 3 years, because if we lose it, it'd be 3 years into a Biden presidency. What does it matter? Number one is speed. Number two, I want to hit this hard because you have to be able to claim an injury, and the way a lot of these courts have been avoiding the cases, these critical cases of election malfeasance, Joe, they've been saying, no, you can't claim it. There's no injury to you personally on that. The Texas lawsuit manages both of these. One, it claims an injury. Two, it moves right to the Supreme Court. How's that? By a magic, some kind of magic parallel sidetrack? No. State on state lawsuits. The court of first impression is the Supreme Court, baby. Supreme Court. Goes right to the Supreme Court, Austin Powers style, right to the Supreme Court, no district court, no appellate court, no nothing. So if the court accepts it, it goes right to the top, meaning the speed requirement's done. On the injury front, you may be saying to yourself, and I described a little bit yesterday, how in this law, and I'm going to give you the good news, bad news. Here's the good news about Texas. They do manage to claim an injury in the law, a couple of them. The one I addressed yesterday is an obvious one, that if the national presidential election was won by fraud because Wisconsin, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Michigan couldn't get their act together, then Texas, the attorney general, saying, well, you hurt the people of my state because we voted for the President Trump, and someone else was picked due to their states not being able to follow the Constitution. That's a big, bold injury claim. Okay, that was number one. I covered that yesterday. But there's a second injury, and this one I did not see coming. This one, I got to tell you, folks, I got to be honest, when I don't know. This one, not a duck, but this one went over my head a little bit. I saw it this morning, and I'm like, nice. Let's get right to it. Here's the actual lawsuit. This is brilliant. I'll read it to you. I'll read a portion of it, and then I'll translate for you quickly. Most of you will get it right away. You're all smart. It says, whereas the House of Representatives represents the people proportionally, the Senate represents the states. You know, that whole Constitution thing. While Americans likely care more about who is elected president, the states have a distinct interest in who is elected vice president. Because the vice president can cast the tie-breaking vote in the Senate. It goes on. Through that interest, states suffer an Article III injury, an injury they can take to the courts, in other words, when another state violates federal law to affect the outcome of a presidential election. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, this is a beautiful thing. It goes on. This injury is particularly acute in 2020, where a Senate majority often will hang on the vice president's tie-breaking vote because of the nearly equal, and depending on the outcome in Georgia, possibly equal balance between the political parties. Quite simply, it is vitally important to the states who becomes vice president. Here's the Omaha meat thermometer. It's 125 degrees. The meat is hot. The meat is hot. She did not know it was going to become a prop in the show like that. That's beautiful. Folks, it's pretty simple to understand. You are a really bright audience. I read your emails. But just in case, given the time or you only got to listen in the car, I'll just explain it to you very simply. The states are claiming, Texas is claiming another injury. They're saying, hey, regardless of what happens in Georgia, there's going to be a very tight U.S. Senate. It's either going to be 52-48 Republicans or 50-50, 50 Democrats, 50 Republicans. So Texas, who has representation in the state representation, not proportional, that's in the House, but state representation in the Senate. Every state gets 2 senators. I know there are liberals listening. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound in any way condescending, but there are liberals who have never read the Constitution and don't know this. Every state gets 2 senators. It's not proportional. Everyone gets 2, regardless of the population. That is the states. The states have their most powerful voice in the Senate on that side in their representative interests. They used to pick the senators. Now it's by a popular vote. So Texas is saying, wait, you heard our state senators. If because Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, Georgia, and Michigan can't get their heads out of their butts and changed election law unconstitutionally in a national election. And because of that change, there is now a Democrat vice president that could be the tie-breaking vote. You've effectively injured our senators by taking away our voice in the states. Where's the flag? This is not a penalty. This is a penalty on the Democrats. Is holding 15 yards? I don't even know, but this is a beautiful thing. Is the Supreme Court going to take it? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. The cojones factor is very low right now. Nobody wants to do anything. Oh my gosh, we could offend people. What? By sticking up for free and fair elections? How exactly is that offending people? How?
You just heard Dan Bongino.